Howdy healers, welcome to Zero to KSM Hero, a series where I'll be attempting the Keystone Master Challenge in patch 9.1.5 on a brand new healer. The rules are simple. For the Alliance, least favored healer, least popular covenant, only moderate help from main character allowed, no linking Raider IO to main character, hugging only, and finally the challenge must be finished before posting the first video to avoid any external help or assistance, and of course for the sake of integrity. Hey guys, welcome in again. So I'm having to make some hard and fast decisions here with the series. Like, we're obviously way past the end of season 2 at this point, and I do want to get to the end of this so that I can maybe do something for season 3 before it ends, or I'm stuck in that loop where I'm posting things like way late. So, unfortunately, I'm going to try to get through these episodes as quickly as possible while not compromising too much on the important episodes or like the important dungeons that I do. So, to start with, it's vault opening day on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. So, say goodbye to Fortified Week. Those are over. It's Tyrannical now. As far as Fortified, we're done. We won't be doing any more Fortified. Oh my goodness. We won't be doing any more Fortified keys. So we're done with those. Our keys for our score that we will be keeping until the end. So we're going to get Keystone Master with the keys that we've already done on Fortified. So the final scores for Fortified is a timed plus 13 Halls of Atonement, a timed Plaguefall plus 11, a timed Theater of Pain plus 12, a timed Mists of Tyrannical 13, a timed Necrotic Wake 14, a timed Sanguine Depths plus 15, a The Other Side plus 15, and an untimed Spires at a 16. So we won't be touching any more Fortified keys for the rest of the series. That's it. We're done. Moving forward, they are all going to be Tyrannical keys, so that's something to look forward to, kind of, I guess. We get a new ring from the vault and a 15 Theater of Pain key, so that's something. But unfortunately, we're not going to run our own key because we're dumb. Yeah. So, hindsight's 2020. I know now that I should have just run my own key a lot more often, even if it was getting depleted. It's whatever. At least then, it's like a guaranteed. Like, I have a 15 key. This could be a guaranteed boost to my number of 15 keys timed. I should just do it. But I think I'm scared of it, so I don't. Instead, I join, for some inexplicable reason, a plus 13 Plaguefall key. And I think my reasoning is that my Tyrannical keys are kind of low comparatively. Like, some of them are pretty bad. Yeah, we have some like 5s yet on Tyrannical. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, they're probably not going to invite me if I don't like boost some of these scores up before I try for more 15s. That was kind of my thought process. So I guess that's why I joined this key. So let's just go over the key real quick. I'm not going to show the whole video because we've got a lot of these where they kind of didn't go that well, and to watch a whole run of it over and over again probably won't be fun. So it's Necrotic Week, and this isn't the first time we've seen this where somebody's lightning bolts have like, or chain lightning has pulled the Plague Rock. It looks like it happened again this time, but yeah, we're having a bad time here in Plaguefall on the first pull. And he's got his necrotic stacks. They weren't even that bad, but like this is just a level of stuff that I can't deal with it. It's too much. And I'm already like annoyed right out of the gate because like could you at least like complete the first pull before you go and pull more mobs, especially on Necrotic Week? Also, we had this shaman just kept yelling Byron, I love you as part of their, like, rotation. I don't know what was bound to that, but, like, it goes on the whole dungeon. It's very annoying. So, yeah, the first pull was bad. We lost the hunter on Globgrog. It's not a big deal because he's practically dead by the time it happens. But it didn't help my mood. You know what I mean? Like, you should be standing on the boss, not away from the boss. Stand close to the boss. I don't care if you're ranged. Please, do me a favor. Anyway, we got him down, but we're moving a little slow. The incinerator guy, our friend, our pal, you know, as usual, doesn't start out the best. We can see somebody has, yeah, first of all, we have an interrupt missed. Somebody has aggro, like they bring other mobs into the group instead of just dying respectively or respectfully at a distance. If I was doing this key now, like I'd be very tempted to just leave. Because, like, what's even going on? Like, why? Why does it have to be like this? Can never be easy. And, I mean, if you're standing in shit, I can't heal you through that. Yeah, this is awful. Like, watching it upsets me. Like, why was I still here? And then I stood too close. Like, I didn't roll out. I should have just rolled. I thought I had time. Did not have time. So, like, I'm annoyed, so obviously I'm playing like a jackass now. We have the rest of our group coming closer. But this is just pretty much like the reason why we didn't time it. I mean, other than like the beginning just being like actual garbage, not enough interrupts, and other problems. Like, we have the issue of like the DPS not being too terribly aware, the tank not being too terribly aware. I'm sure the tank is doing his best, but it's just still painful. And I had the stupid slime on me, so that was great. Like, another thing to, like, upset my mood. Alright, so this boss is going fine until like, he's not going fine, I guess, as it were. So, love it when people don't focus the stupid bomb, and nothing delights me more than when they just, like, straight up die. So, cool. Cool. Love it. This is definitely a group where I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my battle res. Tank can waste his, but I'm not wasting mine. Alright, so then we get to the last boss, and like, you can see by the timer, like, you know what, honestly, it's not that far away from being timed. Like, we're not missing the timer by that much, but it's just like, you can see where some of the earlier problems were probably what kept this from getting timed. And also, yikes, like, I can't get a break. She does this rain twice in one phase. Like, she's taking so long to phase. Oh my god. But yeah, like, watch the countdown and think, alright, so if we just had like, a little bit a few less issues during the run, this would have been a timed dungeon. Unfortunately, it's just a disaster. I guess it could be worse. It still didn't feel good, right? Like, we got a darkness cooldown, so, like, that's the one positive. I'm trying not to use revival because, like, I have this feeling that we're gonna get a third one, right? And I'm gonna need to be able to revival the final one. And the shaman dies again, you know, just shaman things. Ugh. I know, like, pretty much everyone hates Plaguefall, but I don't normally hate Plaguefall. The only reason I hate Plaguefall is when, I don't know, when my group sucks. I barely avoided that. Monk mobility is OP. Alright, so we did finish it, but we didn't, and it was obviously some score for me because I had, like, so many low keys, but that's a yikes for me, dog. Aren't you glad I didn't make you watch the whole entire episode? I shouldn't say that. The whole entire dungeon. Like, I didn't even hearth before I left the group. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of here. Yeah. Like, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get away from these people, like, now. Alright, so as if I didn't have enough of Plaguefall, I came back for another plus 13 Plaguefall for fun and entertainment. No, this one is a timed one. Uh, I don't get anything out of it, like, I don't get any gear or anything, but I want to just kind of showcase, like, the difference in the first pull of the last one and this one. Both are Tyrannical keys, by the way. So, like, you know, it's not as if they're hard to compare. So, this is how the first pull goes in this dungeon. And you can kind of, like, see that it's going fine, actually. Like, yeah, it's chill. Like, where's the damage? What is there to heal? And yes, bear druids are OP for necrotic. Everybody knows it. But, like, the Death Knight didn't even have that many stacks of necrotic, you know what I'm saying? So it's not as if, like, he was getting his ass beat. So check this out. Like, the tank's over there pulling, but, like, everything is dead before he is really in the swing of the pull. So it's a joke. He's stunned, like, bruh. Night and day difference. And it's not as if we don't have disasters happen. Like, yeah, the first pull was, like, completely different, but we're about to experience a disaster pull. Which you think, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be great, it'll be wonderful. Except, two people don't stand in the thing and they... Like, they're probably supposed to be stacked on each other, or they think they are, but they're not. So we end up pulling, like, a ton of extra stuff. We have another wave of terror go out, and it gets 3 people for some reason. So I do dispel the tank first, because I feel like he's the one that matters the most here. And I should have cocooned somebody, like maybe the hunter, since they don't have much in the way of a cooldown. And the tank is in the most danger, just due to the amount of mobs. Should Fort Brew that, too. But anyway, this, like, he's got 30 stacks of Necrotic. And he probably doesn't have Incarn up. He dies. It's a tragedy. We're all very sad. We start kiting, as you do. Tank is running back to try to help us. I get potted. Tank returns. And tries to grab aggro right away. I get unpotted. And try to start healing everybody. I need to dispel. There we go, I did. But he got blasted with another one. I don't really have a lot in the way of, like, meaningful cooldowns because I blew everything. So tank dies again. And we start kiting. We get lucky with the Plague Rocks, like, Buffet, because he just happens to, like, start casting that. So nobody dies from that. And the tank manages to make it back again to save us. And all that's here are Spiteful, so we're good. So, like, yeah, it was a disaster pool, but we did sort of recover. Would it have been better to just wipe and start over? I mean, probably. But the thing is that, like, we still end up timing this run. So, Globgrok doesn't take an eternity to die, and nobody else dies while we fight him, so that's cool. We do lose the mage to fucking lag, but, like, it's whatever. He dies again to lag, on the final boss of the Tentacle Smash. But, like, we have 2 druids, and it's not really a big deal. It just is what it is, right? And, I think to start off, like, it doesn't feel like an eternity, you know what I mean? To get the boss down. It's, like, I don't feel like I'm waiting 1,000 years for her to phase. And we +1 it, which, considering the disaster pull at the beginning, not too bad, right? It was the better playing in between the disaster part, like, or after the disaster part that saved us, in my opinion. Because, like, obviously this wasn't, like, a flawless run, but playing better at key points helped it get timed. So after this, I jump into a +14 Spires of Ascension, and honestly, there's nothing that remarkable about this one either. This is another timed dungeon where I get some gloves at the end. Actually, I'm replacing a pair of 207s with 236 at the end of this, so that's really nice. But the only other remarkable thing about this dungeon is this is the first really big incident of a DPS player nitpicking the tank. Or, like, criticizing the way that the tank is playing. And I don't mean, like, in that, hey, I think we need more percentage kind of way. I mean, at the beginning, he's like, why didn't you pre-incarn? Which, the answer to that is, like, all the time I've been doing Mythic Plus, like, I haven't read anywhere what abilities can be used before the load screen and what can't be. So, like, the only one I know for sure is the Demon Hunter meta, but I haven't heard basically anything about any other class's abilities. So, mostly because of the cooldown, like the countdown timer and everything, plus the loading screen means that most abilities would fall off before, and you wouldn't get any use out of them before the barrier falls. But, like, anyway, he criticizes the lack of pre-incarn, even though it's, like, tyrannical, so who even cares about the trash? And then he also criticizes if the tank grabbed enough stuff or something, and then the tank ends up dying due to probably too many necrotic stacks, and the fact that he doesn't have incarn up. So, like, that's cool. I don't know, but this is the first time we've really seen a DPS player, like, actively complain and nitpick a tank. So that's something new. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing really substantially interesting about this Spires run. It's pretty smooth. Everybody does their job. It is what it is. We'll go with that. So after an afternoon of chaos, I stop playing for a little bit. I go to bed, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, and then I get invited to a +16 Necrotic Wake for some reason. They even give me, like, the VIP treatment and summon me right away, which is awesome. Because they're so considerate, I put out a feast because, like, why not? Also, I really want to time this, like, not even joking. Alright. We're ready. First pull, as always, matters. We're trying not to jump in too early because we don't want to make a mess of things. Looks like Tank almost had their necrotic stacks reset and it failed. They used their file, I'm assuming. Yep. I can definitely do a little bit to help the tank reset their stacks, but that's only if they cooperate, and they need help. Demon Hunter's dead. A little chaotic, but at least stuff is dying. Alright, so the goal here is going to be... This is just in theory, because I don't know what I actually end up doing, but the goal would be to drink as soon as combat ends and the shades are dead. Even if that means we have to, like, touch of death a shade, just to ensure that it dies faster. That one's after me. Luckily, it is murdered. Looks like by the paladin or... Yeah, or warrior. Well, some of it. Somebody killed it. I didn't get to drink, so that's unfortunate. I do have mana pots if needed. I have revival. There we go. I still have Yulon. IQD. It looks like he's dying fast enough. It shouldn't even be a worry. But yeah, I'm kind of juiced out here. So I just drank a little bit. My reasoning is that I don't want to just sit there and drink forever. Like, I at least want to get close enough that I could heal if I need to. Alright, so now we're in combat. Tank has some stacks. I have leg sweep, so I should be aiming to use it here somewhere. Preferably when some drain fluids are going out. But I'm trying to stay away, just in case the stupid spiteful spawn. I should cocoon. Here we go. I'm a big brain. Past me is learning, clearly. I get hit because I gotta get... In my mind, I have to get past. I grab an orb, get in melee. was trying to stay just out of, like, melee swing range, but still within range of, like, the orbs hitting the Spitefuls. I don't know how successful I was, but it seemed to work pretty well. Like, obviously this feels pretty smooth. It's Tyrannical, so the boss is taking a bit longer. This is where me doing any DPS is somewhat helpful, even though I'm, like, so far down there that you can't even see me. That was my bad. I should have just stayed where I was and made everybody else move. Boss is almost dead, though. Alright. Next pool. This pool only ever sucks when people just aren't interrupting, but look at that sweet interrupting we have going on over there. So as it turns out with Spiteful, you're better off just running ahead of them when possible. Alright. We continue with our orbs. I'm finally learning to, like, do some damage, so look, it's not much, but it's something. I want to stand behind this guy because he does a frontal cleave. I guess I'm technically standing to the side, but I don't know if it counts. We got an interrupt, boys. Does anybody like Spiteful? Like, does anybody think it's fun? I mostly just find it annoying. I think I'd hate it more if it only went on, like, melee players or only went on DPS. Because I could just see them eating it. At least if it goes on the healer, sometimes you can kind of ensure that it won't be a problem. We are doing our best to save our group. And we were successful. We can also execute with IQD, but I am not real good at doing that yet, so... Alright, other people got the weapons, so we're gonna let them just do whatever they want.
Face me, Necromancer. Thanatos will be avenged.
Are you so eager to share your underling's fate? Your vaunted courage will be your
We got 2 interrupts. It's like a miracle. I'm so grateful for the interrupts.
Your brethren are butchered. You have already lost.
I should definitely be using Ring of Peace more to deal with the Spitefuls. This might be the moment I realize that. Well, that was fun. Alright, so I tried to get the Sorcerer in with Ring of Peace. I guess it worked. Oh. Demon Hunter died anyways. I tried, though. I think that was just maybe unlucky. I'm not sure. Imagine if all of these spawned Spitefuls. That'd be so funny. I mean, by funny, I mean I would hate it, actually, but, you know. And honestly, at this point, I'm feeling kind of comfortable in this group. Like, they're doing stuff correctly. Like, yeah, we've had 2 deaths on the board and blah, blah, blah. But I feel kind of comfortable DPSing with these folks around. We have the DPS helping me kill my Spiteful so that I can, like, get moving. Which is great. I know it shows me targeting the mage, but, like, am I really targeting anything? I'm just spinning.
You will be brought to justice. You dare
A great
deny
evil
me
lurks
the
nearby.
sky?
Expel it with haste.
Shall
I was hoping to drink. There we go.
Foolish paragon. There is nothing you can do to stop.
Yeah, I should have rolled out of that. Monk mobility, and I just didn't do it. Got greedy.
Well fought.
Still not too bad.
Power as your own.
But I could definitely play better. I considered taking a different power for once, and then I didn't do it because I'm a coward. Also, like, a full melee group is like, I mean, if I stand close to melee, then the power I took will be great. Look at this boss. He's, like, melting because of the spear. Could definitely, like, leg sweep. Not really necessary, but... But I feel comfortable enough on the even on this boss to DPS a little bit. Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's something. I almost have to bring a piece back up. Should use it to put the crossbowman in, but I'm not for some reason. Oop. I did get clipped by that.
With sacrifice comes victory.
So yeah, you can see that I'm not playing that well here.
My soldiers rise once more. Use us.
Your arrival proved timely, yet the battle rages on. We cannot rest until these invaders are purged from our skies.
Alright, up we go.
I will lead the effort here, while my disciples bring you to the necropolis. Let us end this atrocity.
All the corpses we need, stitch flesh. Prepare to strike at the next temple.
Just a moment longer. It seems that the parts for my new creation have arrived at last.
I could use Ring of Peace, keep that away. Alright, use Yulon. Am I gonna use it right? There we go. Oof. I can't save tank. Oh, they used their file. Alright, that's not so bad. It's a little chaotic, but again, like, manageable.
The Mars dark magic coalesces here. Remove it at the source.
Alright, I'm just trying to get a little drink in here before we beat the crap out of this guy. He's so dead. I love how, like, nobody else in this room is paying attention to that. Like, the guy's, like, actively engaged in combat, like, 2 feet away. And they're like, it's fine, he'll handle it. That's a future us problem.
Now, claim its power as your own.
Ah, thank God. I was worried. I was like, man, we're almost at the end of this instance. I don't want to take the food power again. But I behaved. I took the movement one, which is really nice. Wish I had this the movement power all the time. Damn. It would be pretty cool as like a Mistweaver. I'd probably do fist weaving if I had that kind of movement speed all the time. Get hit by Gut Slice if you're not like in combat range.
Come, my assistants. Materials are in need of processing.
Dang it. You see me trying so hard to drink. Should have cocooned him. He released, thank goodness. For a second I thought about battle resing him, but then I was like, why? That's more like something you save for a boss. Maybe even the last boss here. But for the trash, nah, he can just fly up. Also because I'm gonna probably need to drink after combat ends. If I can, like, get combat to end.
I'm out of range. Competent. Oops. Gorgrine, try not to damage those limbs whilst you tear them off.
It's fine, because I didn't get to drink anyway. But that also means that I wouldn't have been able to res him, so it was good that he released there. And it looks like I'm doing fine on mana anyway. This group is too good. And Spiteful Stacks is getting up there.
Vexing. What's new? Get to work and don't fail me like your predecessor.
Am I gonna replace my statue again after this pull? Because that would be funny. As far as I know, Rod Speed doesn't really do that much. I could probably stay in melee there. Maybe get a leg sweep off. I was like, for a second I was like, why did I waste revival there? But then I was like, it's not like I'm gonna need it on the next boss. If I need it, it'll be the last one.
Build those two from scratch. It seems I must take matters into my own hands. I can't wait to put your corpse to use.
Alright, I just want to get a little bit to drink. If I can drink to full, then by all means. Like, maybe I'll get the meat hook, maybe I won't. I do.
I must preserve your parts for later. Imbecile!
And I do it right, so I don't have to, like, be embarrassed. I need to be in there blasting. At least using Rising Sun Kick. I'm cringing at myself.
Impressive ears. Oh, those are so hard to find.
I think I just knew to do it. I just knew that I'd have to heal him. I could have just cocooned him, probably.
Handle you on their own.
He got bopped, but it was like a little bit too late.
I must preserve your parts for later.
Alright, somebody else gets the hook. And they heroic leap away, which is funny. You can't mess it up if you heroic leap away. Alright, so nothing would be cringier than letting the tank die right there, so... Healing it is. Alright. One more boss. And we have a little over 9 minutes. So that's pretty cool. We're doing great. And they pull right away, which is awesome. The funniest thing about this group is no heroism. I just try to leave as small of a footprint as possible for the Comet Storm because other people tend to just run pell-mell around. It took everything in my soul not to immediately dispel that, by the way. Like, I went there, I was ready to dispel it, and then I was like, no. We're trying to get everyone healed back up in case they get sent out. Tank is trying to use their cooldowns for DPS, so... That's why they're taking so much more damage. They're not healing themselves as much. Which is totally understandable. Alright, I did have to pop a mana pot there just because it was getting a little crazy. Alright, so I got a little ahead of myself. Luckily, the tank used Freedom on themselves, and I was able to use Tiger's Lust on the Demon Hunter. Otherwise, that would have been a wipe. Probably, well, maybe not a wipe, but it would have made this boss last even longer. Yeah, if not for these orbs, there's no way that I would still be able. I would have run out of juice ages ago.
A victory well earned. You have proven that none of the weapons in Zoval's arsenal can best
Look at
you.
that. +1. Now our rating's 1815. We are less than 200 points from a good old time. Also, this one-handed weapon is an upgrade. Yep. So that's cool. We did it. I can't believe we got invited to a 16, but you know. It's good. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get any more for our bingo cards, either for painful or wholesome, so I'm not even gonna look at them because I know that we didn't get anything. So that's it for this episode, though, you guys. We march ever closer to Keystone Master with each episode. We will be there soon, I promise. Sorry if you didn't like the format of this video as much as the others. It was a hard choice for me to start doing some drastic cutting, but because we're almost there, I don't really want to spend a lot of time on the dungeons that I'm going to have to visit again in a couple of episodes because like it just doesn't do anyone any good to see it. And I mean, especially if you guys want to see anything from season 3 from me, I really got to wrap this up because it takes me, I mean, I've been spending all afternoon on Saturday working on this. Like, that's my whole day off. So, that's just editing. I'm not even going to get to play. So, I had to make the choice to like start really cutting out the ones that aren't going to be the final dungeons that I do. So, this Necrotic Wake 16 is the final Necrotic Wake key that I will be doing. So say goodbye to Necrotic Wake. Until next time, you guys, take care of yourselves and happy healing.